you, Auntie. Good evening, everybody, and happy holidays. How are you? Those tequila and bourbon drinks got into you okay? It is my pleasure to introduce tonight's guest. He is a born and bred New Yorker. Yeah, that helps, right? And he had, at 18, he had a #1 debut album on, his debut album went #1 on Billboard on the jazz charts. Unheard of, 18. So you can Google it. Yes, it is true. He is the 18-year-old who copped the #1 spot on Billboard when he was 18, the youngest artist to ever do so. He has performed around the world. He has worked with some incredible musicians like Andre Bocelli, and he has been produced by icons like Phil Ramone. Not bad, right? He's and also 16-time Grammy winner David Foster has also worked with our guest this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, his new album is called Killer on the Keys. Please welcome Peter Cincotti, who's going to kill you this evening with some great music.
To talk with all by myself, no one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. I know for certain the one I love. I'm through with flirting, it's you that I'm dreaming of. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses, they're worth waiting for. Believe me, don't stay out late, there's no place to go. I'm home about 8, just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, I'm saving my love for you. much. How's everybody tonight? What a beautiful, I know you just heard a lot of thank yous, so you don't need to hear more, but really thank you for having us tonight. This is such a unique setting, especially where we are here in New York City, and pleasure to play for you. We just got back from a few weeks in Europe, so we're a little jet lagged, but you know, it's nothing Christmas lights can't fix. So we're very, very happy. Thank you so much. We have a relatively short amount of time, but I want to take you kind of through all my records. Not all of them, don't worry, but a little bit of each. I'll try to give you a little variety. That song was from my first record, which was produced, Lezlie mentioned, by Phil Ramone, and such an honor to have worked with him at such a young age. I learned a lot from him. This was another song off that record, which I didn't know at the time, and ended up being my first single. It was a famous recording, but we got the sheet music to it, and Phil was like, let's just record it how you hear it in the studio. Anyway, this is for Phil. I'm sure it's a song you guys know. When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway, like the lazy ocean hugs the shore. Hold me close, sway me more, like a flower bending in the breeze. Bend with me, sway with ease. When we dance, you have a way with me. Stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes will see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Just make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Always a joke. You know, you're more, sorry to interrupt. I had this woman at a show once. Every time we did that sway break, she would moan. I thought she had to go to the hospital. Oh! So you're tame. Thank you for being tame. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Just make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway, sway, sway. Thank you very much. Come on, get up here.
I want to sway. Thank you so much, Peter.
Pleasure. How are you?
You were killing.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Was he killing or not?
Oh, stop.
And the band is killing as well. Hey, Mark. I know Mark, but why don't you introduce some of these other cats?
I was just about to. Please say hello to Joe Nero on the drums. We got Mark Lewandowski on the bass. Tony Glaucy on the trumpet. And Scott Kreitzer on the tenor saxophone.
And Peter Cincotti on piano.
How are you, Lezlie?
I'm good. I'm really good because first of all, this is my first time actually hearing you. And,
all right.
you know, I've heard the records,
Awesome.
but hearing you in person. So thank you very much. And tell me about your journey to 18 when you became the number one. You charted in Billboard in the jazz charts. How did you get from 3 years old, starting playing piano, to 18? With charting on a Billboard with Phil Ramone as your producer, please.
I guess it was a lot of things, but in a nutshell, it started with my grandmother who bought me a toy piano when I was 3 years old. And she taught me how to play Happy Birthday on it, and I was just, apparently I played it kind of right back to her. I was fascinated with it, and I learned how to play by ear, but I was always playing with that thing. And then we got a real piano in the home a couple years later, but at like 4, I started taking piano lessons, and my parents were very encouraging, my mother in particular. And being here in New York City, being in this city was really, I feel like, as I get older especially, so lucky because I was exposed to so much, and I grew up through high school and in my teen years just being fortunate enough to have so many great teachers that would not only teach me, but, you know, share the stage. So if they were playing at a club and they'd see me, they'd invite me up, and that was an education you can't buy, you know?
Well, that's the New York story.
Yeah.
But tell me, like, so what clubs were you going into at 18, 17, 16, 15, 14? What clubs were you going into, and who were you playing with, and who were some of your mentors?
I had so many, some of the clubs, the first one that comes to mind is the Knickerbocker, the steakhouse down in...
On University?
Yeah, I learned a lot there.
Down the street from Bradley's.
Exactly.
You might not know Bradley's.
Before my time, but I know that, yeah. right before my time. But yeah, the Knickerbocker, and I guess anywhere there was a piano that I was invited, and my teachers would say, hey, come on and do it. But I guess through the years, at one point in high school, I was playing Monday nights at a place called Feinstein's, which closed. But by then I was 17, I was in 11th grade, and that's when, so I had already had a few years of just playing where I could. Oh, the Red Blazer was another one. The old Red Blazer on 46th Street, no longer there. That was like my first professional show when I was 13. I constantly...
Okay, wait a minute.
I tried to like...
Wait a minute. Okay, I have my own journey, but it did not start at 3, and it did not end up with me playing at the Knickerbocker. So, wait a minute. Did your parents take you? How... Did you get to play at these places at 13,
I would
14?
say, yeah, my family and my mom in particular was very encouraging and supportive. She was the artistic one. My father was, you know, watching the football game, but also didn't know what to do with me kind of thing. But like, what are we going to do with this kid? So it was definitely that, and constant exposure. And then, I have so many stories. Another story was Harry Connick, my cousin Vicky, went to see him when I was 7 years old. He was playing at the Village Vanguard. I was already obsessed with, you know, playing piano, and she had told him about me. And then my father was at home because I got sick, and I couldn't go to his show. And my father stayed home with me. And before I know it, the phone rings, and he comes in and he says, Harry Connick's on the phone. I said, what? And I pick up the phone, and I'm 7, and I'm like, and it's him. And he's like, I got your cassette. I'm gonna listen to it. And another like hugely supportive mentor through the years. But James Williams, another piano player.
Absolutely, yeah.
Late great James Williams, one of the best.
Absolutely.
I remember sitting in with him at the Knickerbocker. I mean, so many stories. But they wouldn't have happened, I don't think, anywhere else on the planet.
Well, you had the So, did you grow up in Manhattan, or did you?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the Knickerbocker and all those places at 13. That's amazing that you could get in and then even sit at a piano.
I know, now
Really?
it would be a little harder
And
nowadays.
have James Williams.
I know. No, very lucky.
Well, so now, at what point did you meet Phil Ramone?
He was in the club at one point when I was doing those Monday night shows, and he was just there one night, and that's how I got my first record deal. And then I started college, and I spent a couple of years there. But by then I was starting to tour, and Phil and I had made the record, so that was around 17, 18. Excuse me, I have a little cold here. So
That's okay. That's okay. And you're probably a little stressed. You've been working a lot.
No, it's the travel. What could you say?
Yeah, I know how this goes.
Not
So,
complaining. but-
so you have a new record out called Killer on the Keys, and Sway is on that new record, right?
No, it's not. That's Sway's on my first, but Killer on the Keys is brand new. And you guys, I think, have a copy of a partially.
How about that? When you guys when you arrived, Peter let you know who he is, right? Very generous. So let's talk a little bit about your new record, Killer on the Keys. You are honoring piano greats from Scott Joplin to Billy Joel. Where did you get this idea from?
It's kind of, to me, this record encompasses the last 5 records because we're kind of skipping over a middle period on my 3rd and 4th record where I started writing almost these very pop songs. And that's when I met David Foster. And I made 2 very different kind of records than my original, I guess, more traditional jazz records like you just heard, songs like that. So I went in a different direction because all kinds of music influences me, not just one genre. But this record, to answer your question, Lezlie, I wanted to combine artists, at least people that have influenced me, that have been associated with the piano from different genres, people you wouldn't put in the same sentence, like everyone from, like you mentioned, Billy Joel combined with Nat King Cole, or John Lennon combined with, Oscar Peterson, everyone from Scott Joplin to Lady Gaga. And Chris Martin, I do a Coldplay song, and almost like a Bill Evans with a Bill Evans intro, influenced Bill Evans intro. But, I wanted to kind of make a record that honors the killers, the people that I think are killers on the keys.
Well, you are certainly a killer on the keys.
That's nice, thank you.
And I want to hear more music, but I want to come back and ask you some more questions.
Of course, yeah, please.
So we can hear some more music?
We'll play a couple more from the new record,
Okay.
and then come
How about
back
that?
up.
Is that good?
Thank you. With the radio on, it's where I heard my heroes, from Jerry Lee to Elton John. I hit that dial like a grand piano, every note was a thunderbolt. I found a new religion, pounding away till my fingers bled. I was on a mission, killer on the keys, playing lines like these, mixing blues and Bach with jazz and rock, to live and breathe every single melody, to be a killer on the keys. I played all night till the floorboard shook. The neighbors kept complaining, but some things you can't learn in a book. Yeah, like entertainment, snuck into every club in New York. I sat in with the greatest. They told me, kid, you got something to say. You gotta innovate it, to be a killer on the keys, playing lines like these, mixing blues and Bach with jazz and rock, to live and breathe every single melody, to be a killer on the keys. with jazz and rock. To live and breathe every single melody. To be a killer on the keys. Oh, to be a killer on to be a killer. A killer on to be a killer. A killer on the keys. And to be a killer on to be a killer. Thank you very much. Forgot to mention Jerry Lee Lewis because the original killer, I mean, obviously, he was the first guy that I remember. I was 5 years old and I got the Great Balls of Fire cassette tape, and that was it. I was so hooked on him and a whole lot of shaking going on. So that song just came about because I was towards the end of the record and I felt like I was missing something as far as trying to cover all these different generations, and I thought about him. So instead of covering a whole lot of shaking going on, that was for him. Let's see if you know this one. This is a big jump. Please hold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Love game, intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after she's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on her heart. I'll get her hot, show her what I got. I'll get her hot, show her what I got. She can't read my poker face. Can't read my, she can't read my poker face. My poker face. She's got me like nobody. She's got me like nobody. Gambling is fun when you're with me. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. Baby, when it's love, if it's not rough, it isn't fun. I'll get her hot, show her what I got. I'll get her hot, show her what I got. Thank you very much.
Let's talk about this, Peter. That was wonderful. How many of you know whose song that is? I just wanted to raise a hand. That was Lady Gaga's Poker Face. And so what I want to ask you, Peter, that was wonderful, by the way. You guys are killing.
They're amazing. Let's give a hand for the band. They're really incredible.
No, really. You know, I'm very curious about how musicians choose their material, especially you were born in, can I tell, you were born in 1983?
That's correct, yeah.
1983, and you're playing Jerry Lee Lewis. So when you were growing up, what were you listening to? Like, what did you listen to? Not, I don't know if your parents were listening to Jerry Lee, but what were you listening to? Hip hop or 80s? No, you were 83.
Well, the radio was always on in the house, so there was whatever
BGO,
the pop
of
music.
Course.
Yeah, of course, BGO. Of course. And exactly. But I grew up on a lot of the Great American Songbook. I did grow up on that. But then I was exposed to Broadway shows here, you know, whatever was playing. Lucky enough to see those, and concerts at Madison Square Garden. I remember seeing Elton John. It was really exposed by a variety. But my personal piano journey, for lack of a better word, went from that Jerry Lee Lewis moment because I'm 5, and then that got me into this 50s rock and roll phase, which took me to Chubby Checker and Fats Domino, and that's really all I listened to. And then that after 5 to like 9. But then when I was 9, something happened. I got into blues through the gateway of the rock and roll, which really is the same thing. You start to see the connective tissue between all these areas. But then I also started writing my own music at that same age. And when I sat down to write, no, I'm not saying it like that, but what was weird is when I sat down, when I sat down to write, what came out was completely unrelated to what I loved, and it was pop, like the poppiest, almost Celine Dion style melodies. And I'd play things like, you know. And like no zero complexity, but melody, and then that took me down. Like I was like split. So I have so much to say about that, and that only came around to meld into one thing when I made my 3rd record with David Foster, because I was doing jazz, and then I had this pop streak I didn't know what to do with. But then by the time I really wrote on that 3rd record, it was colored by all that blues and all that jazz. So that's why I think that 3rd record almost feels like my debut, even though technically it wasn't.
Well, no, that's the whole pop aspect of it, and how you met David Foster, because that's pretty major. He's one of the greatest pianists and arrangers and composers for some of our greatest pop stars.
Yeah, very much so.
So how did that come about? Phil Ramone.
Yeah. Well,
David Foster.
Again, same similar. Funny enough, Phil was at a live show here in New York, and he's New York type, you know. And I'm playing, and he was there at a live show. And David is an LA type, like opposite. One is, they're very different. And I had a live show in LA, and David happened to be there, and it was a private show that somehow I got the brilliant idea to not do any of the songs they were expecting me to do and do all my original songs, which was a disaster in one sense because they were expecting something else. But the good thing was David was in that crowd, and he said, "Wait, what are those songs?" And that's how we worked together through there. He goes, you're really a songwriter more than you are the other thing. I said, all right, well, let's see, let's try. So that's how I met David.
So tell me a little bit about the process of songwriting, how you approach it, because it's not easy for everyone, and you just seem to naturally step into it, and of course David obviously saw that. What is the ease in doing that for you?
To me, especially as I get older, that's like the center of me. I think that's how I think of myself. And the piano and the vocals, or even the band, it's all used to get the song across. Like the song is paramount, and they all require different things. So I identify more and more, and now I look back and say, I guess I was that at 9. Even though when my first record came out, I was marketed in a very specific way, which was fine for that. But now you start to realize, you start to peel away the layers of the onion and see who you are. And to me, it's a songwriter. It all stems from that. But the process is always different, to answer your question. And some of them are easy, and some of them, you kill yourself. Some of them are quick. Some of them take years. I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Yeah, no, well, that was a good answer for not having a good answer. So talk a little bit about your new album, Killer on the Keys.
Yeah.
And do you have some holiday songs on that album? Or
No. But we're gonna play we're gonna end with a few.
You're gonna do some holiday songs.
Let's do some holiday. Yeah.
You want to hear some holiday songs? With all this beautiful, this is so beautiful. I actually was not in the holiday spirit until I walked into here today. So thank you, and we'd love to hear some holiday songs.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I'll play you a few. Thank you, Lezlie.
You're welcome.
This was one that we hadn't played in a long time that came out right around the time of my first record. I'll play. We actually released an EP that I can't find anymore, so maybe one day we'll re-record it, but this is from that. First one's an original, second one you'll know. Christmas time is here. Lights are everywhere. People in the streets are rushing by. In this crazy New York town, the snow keeps tumbling down. My favorite time of year. Christmas time is here. Trees are dressed in gold. Shopping on the streets and avenues. In this crazy New York town, the snow keeps tumbling down. My favorite time of year. Hear the sleigh bells ring on their way. Central Park's all white, and Broadway glitters all through the night. Christmas time is here. Champagne all around. Dancing in the nightclubs way downtown. In this crazy New York town, where dreams are often found. My favorite time of year. Sleigh bells ring on their way. Central Park's all white, and Broadway glitters all through the night. Christmas time is here. Champagne all around. Dancing in the nightclubs crazy New York town where dreams are often found. My favorite time of year. Thank you. Raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles, warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with string. These are a few of my favorite things. Cream-colored ponies, crisp apple strudels, doorbells and sleigh bells, schnitzel with noodles, wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes, snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes, silver white winters that melt into spring. These are a few of my favorite things. When the dog bites, when the bee stings, and when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things. And then I don't feel so bad. When the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things. And then I don't feel so bad. Thank you very much.
Yeah, happy holidays. Thank you. Peter, I'm sitting here looking at you, and I'm like, you have that je ne sais quoi.
Is that right?
You're such an entertainer. And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, he's been in Spider-Man 3, yeah?
2.
Oh, excuse me. Spider-Man 2, and you were on House of Cards.
I was, yeah.
So you got that acting thing as
I
well.
guess so.
You are an overall entertainer. That is it.
So.
Tell me, what are some of your favorite things? Your favorite things?
Oh, I love food. I love wine.
Do
We
you
just
cook?
came. I cook all the time.
I'm gonna ask your mother. I hear your mother's in the house.
Yes. You can
Mom,
ask her after. Yes.
Is that true?
I cook all the time. Yeah, it's funny. I love that, and it's like a meditation to me. Food and good wine and maybe a martini.
I'm coming over to your house. Thank you so much. Your new album is called Killers on the Keys. I'm sorry.
Killer on the Keys.
Killer on the Keys. I'm sorry. That you can hear on WBGO 88.3 FM. And you have a new Christmas single that is now in the top 40.
That's right.
And you are sharing the top 40 with the Times Person of the Year, Taylor Swift. How does that feel?
It's crazy. I don't know how it feels.
You have Taylor's number?
No, I don't. No, they don't. When you hit the top 40, they don't give that out.
So how is that? Hitting the number ones in the top 40 as a jazz musician?
Yeah, no, it's weird to see my name, especially this song. This song kind of, again, is just like really straddles the fence, I guess. But Christmas suspends the rules, and I think maybe that's part of it. There's a Christmas spirit, and there's something in the music, and people kind of stop defining it. All gets wrapped up into Christmas and holidays. So who the hell knows? But I really had a good time writing this song, and it was a fun song, and it was a last-minute song. It's just one of those ones that came out like that. So.
And are we going to hear that?
Yeah. I'll leave you with that if that's okay.
Have you enjoyed Peter Cincotti this evening? Thank you so
much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure
Thank you, Lezlie.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Katz. Thank you.
Yeah, once again, let's give it Mark Lewandowski, Scott Kreitzer. Feeling the way you're standing by that tree. I can't wait to get you home and celebrate alone. 'Cause it's Christmas, I wanna wrap you up. Christmas, the time of year for love. I was blue as I could be, but just like that, it's merry, merry me. 'Cause it's Christmas, I'm giving you my heart. Christmas, so let the party start. I don't need no jingle bells, I just need you and nothing else. 'Cause it's Christmas. Santa does on any night but Christmas Eve. I wonder if Mrs. Claus says hurry back home before he leaves. But oh, if Santa feels the way you make me feel, then he knows your kiss is so much fun. I need another one. 'Cause it's Christmas, I wanna wrap you up. Christmas, time of year for love. I was blue as I could be, but just like that, it's merry, merry me. 'Cause it's Christmas, I'm giving you my heart. Christmas, so let the party start. I don't need no jingle bells, I just need you and nothing else. 'Cause it's Christmas. You're the prettiest thing I ever saw. So come in close and dance with me, and we'll do more than rock around the Christmas tree.